Leonardo da Vinci, Vincent van Gogh, Pablo Picasso. Everyone on this planet knows their names. And then there's me, still unknown. Why? Maybe I need to learn to draw as well. So I decided to try to learn to draw in 7 days, drawing 6 to 8 hours every single day. At the beginning I drew a face, a pose and a landscape that I can compare with at the end of the week. At the end of the week I also messaged 10 professional artists and asked them to rate my drawing skills from 1 to 10. So let's get started, 7 days from now on. First up, I needed a plan on how to approach learning to draw. Therefore I watched a tutorial on how to learn to draw from Draw
Like I said.
After that, I started by watching a tutorial about line work, followed by some practice on line work. I actually got bored after like 10 minutes though and started with shape design, drawing squares, circles and other simple shapes. To make this a little more complicated, I started to turn these simple shapes into 3D objects later on. Learning shape and object design is important since literally everything is made up of basic shapes. A bird, for example, consists of a circle, an oval and a rectangle. I kept going by learning the basics of proportions and perspective, followed by some sketches. I used the website Sketch Daily References, which provides real-life references of humans in different poses. And they also have naked models. The website also allowed me to choose a time for each drawing. I always tried to sketch one pose within 5 minutes. I felt like doing a lot of rough sketches helps a lot more in the beginning compared to spending hours on one single drawing that will also look like shit in the end. I finished the day with that activity and went to bed. On day 2 I continued to draw different poses by using the reference images, but I increased the time from 5 to 10 minutes in order to spend some more time on learning the details. I also started to draw some faces, but as you can see they still look like shit. Now it's obviously time to level up my art and also get started with landscape drawings. So I started to watch a lot of videos from Draw
Like I said.
on shading, perspective, faces and drawing the mouth. After watching all of these videos, I started to draw a lot of faces using the Loomis method. Here you basically draw a circle, another circle, some lines, done. Easy, right? As you can see, it wasn't for me though. After looking at my images, I realized that the faces still look pretty flat. To give them that 3D look, I tried to get better at shading. Next up, I wanted to draw my first landscape. Therefore, I drew a city using the 1-point perspective. Drawing a city takes like 5 hours though, and I definitely prefer to draw characters. Therefore, I focused on drawing the mouth in 3D afterwards. On day 4, I watched some more tutorials on shading and practiced it a lot since I was still not satisfied with my shading. Also focused a lot on different facial features like eyes and noses. I tried to get a better understanding of their structure in a 3D space overall. Day 5 was really a game changer for me. First up, I started to practice my shading a bit more by diving deep into hatching and cross-hatching and getting my head around different shading techniques in general. I struggled with shading until the end and I feel like getting really good at it takes like forever. Also drew a lot more heads, but I somehow felt like I got stuck at some point. Therefore, I watched some tutorials on how to improve faster. I found one tutorial on using blind drawing to get better. It sounds dumb, but it really helped me a lot. You basically draw something from an art reference once, looking at every single detail and trying to remember it as well as possible. Then you compare your image to the original image and think about why your image looks different from the original one. After that, you close your eyes and try to draw it from your memory, and by doing so you'll start to memorize every single detail and every single line of the image, and this technique helped me so much, and I will also use it for other subjects like coding in the future. On day 6 I tried to draw as much as possible using that technique. I especially focused on drawing a lot of portraits and I tried to improve my 3D thinking. Now my week was almost over, so what did I do on the last day? Actually, I just tried to repeat everything. I also tried to learn the basics of anatomy. Since I studied sports science, I know pretty much all of the muscles. I guess I have to review some of the lower leg and forearm muscles though, but I didn't find the time to do so on day 7. So let's get back to the 3 images that I drew on day 1. How did they look on day 7? I started by drawing Naruto as a portrait. It definitely took me around an hour to draw that image, but as you can see it looked a lot better compared to the portrait from day 1. I don't know why, but I also wanted to draw Naruto as a super muscular hero for my pose drawing. I also feel like that drawing got a lot better, but I also realized that I never learned how to draw clothes. Maybe I forgot about that since I don't wear clothes 99% of the time in real life as well, but yeah. I didn't draw another landscape since I didn't practice that at all since my first landscape drawing, and therefore I also didn't feel like I improved there. I think that this image is a good representation of what my current landscape drawing skills look like. After all that struggle, I obviously also wanted a rating on my drawing skills. Therefore I messaged 10 popular artists or drawing YouTubers asking them to rate my drawing skills, but no one replied, so maybe you can rate my drawing skills.